All right. Sorry for the delay, but we'll jump right into this. A subscriber, I'm honored to have at Michael Goosebumps fan. Hopefully, you listen to this at some point, and I like how you kind of start your videos jumping right into it, not all that subscribe, like all that stuff. But I do need to provide you some background information. I think that will help make the story make a little bit more sense. So, when I was a kid, probably 6 to 8 years old, I would go with my parents. Sometimes my brothers would go. And to help this friend of my mom, she was special needs, we'll say, needed some help. As I've gotten older, I kind of probably got a good idea of what she had going on. But at the time, I didn't know I was a kid. Um, but the grandfather had recently passed. She was raised by her grandparents. I don't know what happened with the parents there, but I just know that she was raised by them, and the grandfather had recently passed. So we had started going over there, and I had asked my mom a couple of these questions to make sure I was accurate. That's about the time that my parents and I would be drug along to um, go over there and help them mow the lawn, do the stuff. The grandma couldn't hardly move around. The granddaughter just had some needs she needed to be able to live independently, we'll say. So one day we were over there, and it was about once a week we went. And again, I have no remembrance of the grandfather, so I'm guessing he probably passed when I was about 3, 4 during the time frame. If I met him, I don't remember it, just pictures of him. So this was probably, if I had to guess, 1 year, 2 years maybe since his passing. We're over there, typical week, probably the 30th, 40th time I can remember being over there, if I had to guess. And there we were over there this time, and there was a service coming to get her to take her to a doctor's appointment, I believe. That's what mom said she thought it was for. um we'll say her name was Carol. Take Carol to the That's the granddaughter. Take her to friend of my mom. Take her to a doctor's appointment. We'll say her grandma's name was Chloe. She didn't drive, so as the service, before she's left with the service, as she's waiting on them, so hopefully you've got the picture there. I didn't want to rush it, but didn't want to drag us out forever either. Um, Friend of my mom, neither one of them drove, raised by her grandparents. Grandpa had recently passed. We started coming, well, my parents, I just went along, and to help them with everyday needs so they could live independently. She's waiting on the services to take her to a doctor's appointment. Um, she's telling us about how, we'll say her grandpa's name was Matt, how Matt was talking to her when she was asleep, how she could see him when she would maybe open a door, he'd be standing in there. Um, she had a slight learning disability, special needs. As I've gotten older, I could probably kind of not diagnose, I'm not a doctor, but have a good understanding of what it probably was. So again, not trying to sound offensive at all, but we kind of just laid it on that and the fact that he had recently passed and she just wasn't ready to let go of him. None of us really believed she was seeing him. He was talking to her, any of that stuff. But of course, we didn't say anything. We nodded our heads. Well, she leaves at the service, and we're sitting there. And I still to this day love that Carol. I mean, she was phenomenal, funny. Um, and I have a very soft spot. Love to help those that have needs. We all do. Um, I'm ADHD myself. I'm sure that's a shocker, but that's probably why I had a bond to her. Now that I get older and think about it, so um, as we're waiting for that, she gets picked up, goes to her doctor's appointment, and we're sitting there. And I remember being very sad, feeling like just an odd feeling, just like poor Carol. She just cannot let go. Like, and she was obviously going through depression, probably what her doctor was for, something like that. Um, I mean, that was her life, her grandpa. So we're sitting there and we're all in the living room area, and her grandmother's still there. And she's just kind of nodding her head. She wasn't real vocal, but we weren't trying to hide anything discussion wise. But we're like, We did not think she was seeing him or him talking to her. About that time, a shadow just kind of went past that front window. Now, this house was kind of out with some land. It was very rare that they would get visitors. I mean, to the point where I think two or three of us got up and went to the door. So we all saw nobody's out there. Okay. Bird flew by, whatever. Um, we sit back down, we continue the conversation. And I can remember this feeling to this day. It was just, I felt bad for Carol, but it was just an eerie feeling. Eerie's the key word, I guess, for the story. So we continue like that discussion. Like, I hope they can help her. Like, we don't want to see her like this. She was a very jolly lady, and she just wasn't herself after he had passed. So, um, and again, warned you in the beginning if I kind of stop and think, I'm just trying to make sure I say things accurately as possible. One thing I can lay my hand on the Bible and say when I tell these stories, they're 100% true. Like, I don't want to fabricate anything. But we continue the conversation, and after seeing the shadow, there's a bag of chips. She had like a counter type thing, and a bag of chips fell off onto the kitchen floor. Not a big deal. Again, we probably two or three of us get up, put it back up, continue the conversation. Don't think anything of it. About a minute in, bag of chips falls again. We go in there, and my mom, I remember clear as day, and I verified some of this with her before I recorded this, and I think it was her, I didn't notice it, but she was like, you know what, I think it was that same bag of chips, and I put those up pretty tight, stacked, so I'm going to put them second. I guess she had like four deep, so she put on like second. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make sure it's not just me, and if those fall again, something's up. Go in the living room, you know where we're going. This wouldn't be an eerie story. If kaplump, we hear the sound, go in there, it's that exact same bag of chips laying on the floor with the other bag in front of it, the two behind it. That image I can still see to this day. I still wouldn't say I was scared. It was just eerie. It was what is causing this. And I don't even know at the time if I was putting two and two together, like, could this be the grandpa or anything like that? As an adult now, it still just kind of boggles my mind what an explanation for that. And so that was the last one of the last ones I could think of over the course of my lifetime. Kind of eeriness. As far as this channel direction going, because I do want to start putting some time into this and trying to find its niche, like all things fitness. I just kind of maybe all things all things everything. Like, I have so many ideas I want to do, but I guess you wouldn't fall under the fitness umbrella. Like, where I started it to align with this business, I've kind of gotten those deals, you could say, done marketing wise, so I'm not really needing to do what thought I would need to. So I just want to have fun with this, guys. I want this to be something you guys look forward to, because you're going to get a laugh, you're going to get a story. Just like, I've seen some crazy world records I legit think I'm going to try to break. Probably won't, but I just think that's a little subset of YouTubers that I don't know of any channel like that you guys might be interested. Like, one of them involves doing something for a number of days. So add a little twist to it, record myself day 2, kind of show what the body's doing at that point. Of course, don't try any of it at home. I'm crazy. Try something like that. But I don't get many comments. I know with 70 subscribers, you're not going to get that many. But if you guys could please, like, comment some ideas. I will always, as a competitive bodybuilder, fitness enthusiast, like, that's literally my business, is that I never want to get away from that. So I'll always keep posting that stuff. But just kind of throw in, just to make this different, like, and have fun with it. I don't want this to ever feel like work. All right, I didn't want to drag us out I'm already at, what, about 10 minutes. But if you got any explanation for that story, yeah, please share that too. Hopefully you guys found that eerie. I think it's the most eerie feeling one, just by how I felt at that time, like, if that makes sense at all. So I love you guys. I hope we can make this work. Let's get us a good 200-300, whatever it is, to good family. Just kind of see what happens from there. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.